Now we're going to focus on the main OKR doc in our company workspace, which is the company OKRs doc. This is the doc that your whole company can essentially use. And so when you first come in here, you'll have a welcome page that kind of looks like this, and you can read an introduction to what this doc does and how it's meant for your team. And this doc has many pages and subpages, so you can nest things within other pages. So there's different hierarchy that you can see in your company OKR doc. And you can literally just follow this doc along the left-hand side pages from planning to execution to reflections, which kind of runs through the entire planning and OKR process for any large enterprise. This tutorial that I showed earlier, let's see here, this walks through the different parts of an OKR process, but this doc that I'm showing here encapsulates everything from that tutorial into one central doc. Most other OKR software might capture just the planning and execution phases, but the reflection phase where you kind of report back on how you are doing might be missing, or there might be a missing integration to ensure that your OKR software talks to your HRIS software or your company's scheduling system for scheduling meetings. So Coda contains all of this in one place. For instance, with the tops down and bottoms up guidance pages in the planning phase, this is where the management will write high-level objectives that every team should be striving to hit. And then when we get to the bottom-up guidance portion, these are where teams will actually write in their individual key results that go towards those company objectives. So remember how we talked about with the team roster doc, how this table of employees gets synced with other docs within our workspace? This is a perfect example of where these teams right here are all coming from the team roster doc. So if I click on this source, if I try to click on the source of where this dropdown is coming from, you'll see that it comes from this teams table down here. So scroll down here. And this you can see is coming from our roster doc via crossdoc. So anytime something is updated in the team roster doc, it will also show up in this table, and therefore it will properly show up in this dropdown when you're filling out your OKRs. So since your team roster doc also contains an employee's email and their Slack or Teams username, you can send reminders to individuals, your employees, straight from this doc, because that team roster doc contains that information which is brought into this company OKRs doc. So you can use Teams, Slack, or an email integration with this Coda doc to send notifications about OKRs. Most other OKR tools need to have a custom integration with your HRIS system to make this happen. I've also seen teams stitch together Google Sheets using the import range function to make this happen, but it's really prone to error. And just like this list of employees is synced with other docs within the workspace, this list of OKRs is also synced with other docs in the workspace so that you can see these OKRs in other documents. In terms of executing on your OKRs, let's go into the execution phase. You'll probably see a page like this where you'll have an automated message saying, "Hi, whoever the employee is, the current quarter ends in how many days," and these are all calculations that automatically update as the quarter progresses. And you have a view of all the OKRs here, which only show the person who's logged in. It just shows their OKRs. And then whoever team that person is on, it will show their OKRs here as well. So as they update their metrics here, if I click on the right update, I can give my update here, write down an update, and it will just show an update everywhere else this OKR is mentioned within this doc and also other parts of my workspace. Finally, the dashboards page. This is something that an executive or management team might want to see during the quarter because it gives the team a pulse on how well the whole company is doing. And more importantly, if you scroll down here, you can also filter the list of all the company's OKRs to see the ones that are off track. So these are red flags that the executive team can see to make sure that the company is running on time or on schedule to hit their OKRs. So the key takeaway from this video is that this OKR doc contains all portions of the planning and OKR process in one place. And so by implementing everything about your OKR process in one doc, the whole company only needs to go to one tab in the browser to see everything related to OKRs. Our team can help you create an OKR and strategic planning system in Coda that meets your company's requirements, needs, and most importantly, team culture and processes. Fill out this form, and I'll also put the link in the description in the video, and someone will get back to you about creating the system for your company. If you want to see how other companies are building their OKR system on Coda, you can go to our website, go to Solutions, Planning and OKRs, and you'll see some case studies and examples of how other companies are building OKRs on Coda, including Pinterest, John Doerr, and also Skyfall.